It's a treatment that can treat both acute and chronic injuries in addition to beauty. Check out today's Hello Beautiful, where we discuss the functional Neo. We are at the spa at West Glen with Dr. Heidi Cook talking about a new use for a popular service or treatment you have, I should say.
Yeah, so it is with the Emsculpt Neo device. So we talked about the Emsculpt Neo. So what it does is it burns fat and it builds muscle. So we have different kinds of applicators for different body parts, and that's the original use for the device. So what is new is they came out with functional Neo. So what that is, it's a way to treat acute and chronic injuries. So acute injuries are when something happens right away, and chronic is long-term, you've had issues. So it can treat both of those. So very commonly used for carpal tunnel, for knee pain, ankle pain, plantar fasciitis, back pain, hip pain, shoulder pain.
So like anywhere?
Really anywhere. You just can't do it right along the back, along the spine, but even off to the sides you can treat. So it uses the same technology, which is the radio frequency and the electromagnetic stimulation. Same thing that we use for Neo, but it's a completely different software. So when you are treating for muscle gains, it's these long contractions, really intense contractions, which wouldn't be good when you're trying to rehab a muscle from an injury. So with the functional Neo, the contractions are much shorter, they're not as strong. So what they're trying to do is, when you have an injury, the surrounding muscle gets weak because you're favoring it, you're not using it. And so this is a way to kind of keep up with the strength, not really to build it, but just to maintain it. So that is the use of the high frequency stimulation. The radio frequency, which is what burns the fat when we're doing regular Neo, what it's used for, it's a lower radio frequency, and it's meant to increase circulation, to help with getting inflammation out of there and to rehabbing all of the tissue around the injury.
And how does this work? How often do we have to do this?
Yeah, so for functional Neo, it is once a week for 4 weeks. So it's 4 weeks. The treatments are 30 minutes. And it depends where the injury is. Sometimes we'll choose to do, like if it's a knee injury and one knee is worse than the other, we'll still treat both of them. Carpal tunnel, usually bilateral. Other than that, if it's a shoulder, it may just be one shoulder. So really it's very personalized, really depends on where the pain is for that person as to exactly which applicator is used and where it's placed, how it's strapped on. Or in some cases, we'll just even hold it there if it's in a place that can't be easily secured.
And who's this good for? Is this someone that they all of a sudden have pain, or they've had pain for a while?
Yeah, it can be anywhere from a teenager who has a sports injury. It can be post-surgery, so it can work very well with physical therapy. Or it can be people who just have chronic pain, whether that be back pain, hip pain, knee pain, and it can help with those types of things. It can help with range of motion. So a lot of people will come in, especially with shoulder pain, that can't lift, and after this they have a lot more range of motion, comfortable range of motion.
And I think a lot of us have pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Somewhere.
Pretty common.
Anything else we need to know about functional Neo?
So functional Neo, any of the Neo, whether it's functional or the sculpting, anybody who has defibrillator and pacemaker, not a good candidate for that. If you have metal in the area, these are all questions that we ask, but as long as those are clear, you'd be a good candidate.
Now, can you do both? Maybe not at the same time, but can you sculpt and use it for functional?
You can, and actually there is some benefit, especially if there is, say, lower back pain, that you can treat the lower back pain. But often we have lower back pain because our either abdomen or our glutes are weak, and so strengthening those at the same time that you're rehabbing an injury is going to give you even more relief and longer lasting relief.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
You can set up an appointment online at spawestglen.com or call 515-207-6788. Dr. Heidi and her team are located off Mill Civic Parkway in West Des Moines. You can follow her on social media for more skincare tips and to learn about the latest product trends.